Hello, and thank you so much for tuning into A Voice for All. I am your host, Jamila Gamble, and as always, I encourage you to connect with me on Twitter at MissJamPCCS, or you can find me on Facebook at the Jam fan page, facebook.com/MissJamGamble. Mouthful. Okay, so on this segment, we are talking about autism and some of the apps that are extremely beneficial to individuals who have autism. And just a side note, for those of you who do not know, children with autism grow up and become adults with autism. Just keep that in your mind as we're doing our interview here with my next guest, Nadia Hamilton, who is the creator of Magnus Mode. Thank you for being on A Voice for All.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Oh, right. So how did Magnus Mode come to be?
Okay, so Magnus Mode is a company, right? And so our first solution is called Magnus Cards.
Okay.
Now, how Magnus Mode was formulated was pretty much my brother. He's the spark. His name is Troy. He's 26.
You want to say hi to Troy?
Hi, Troy. Is this camera? Okay. Hi, Troy. He's 26 years old. He is the most loving, compassionate, and wonderful human being that I've ever known. He's also probably one of my closest siblings. I hope they're not watching right now. But
How
anyway,
many are there?
Okay, well, there's 4 others.
But he's the best one. Let's just put that out there.
I won't say best, but we definitely have the strongest bond. He's mostly nonverbal.
Okay.
And I can't stop talking. So it's a really good match in that way. And he's just so caring and compassionate. Not that I'm not, but we just generally balance each other.
Well, you know, I'm glad you said that. And the way you described him was as a human being. You know, for some reason, some people feel that, oh, you know, someone who has autism, they're cold, or they don't know how to experience love or compassion towards others. The way you just described your brother was like a normal, average person.
He's just a young man. He's just a 26-year-old boy, and he wants to be out there in the community doing things that other neurotypical 26-year-olds are doing. And that's actually the genius of the company, because when he graduated from high school, he literally, like many others on the spectrum, graduated to the couch. So every single day I was getting up and I was going to university, and he was grabbing his video game with his strategy guide that walks him through the stage and sitting on the couch. So I said to myself, what if there was a way to create a tool that pretty much gamified the whole strategy guide gaming aspect?
Because a lot of individuals with autism love gaming.
They love gaming. They love visual guides. They love step-by-step instructions, and they love structure.
Yes.
So I said, let's apply this to real life. So I was in university. I heard about a social business competition through the Center for Social Innovation at downtown Toronto. I entered and I won.
Wow.
So I got funding to start the business. I poured all the funding I got into starting the business, and we outsourced the development of the, sorry, I have a lot of energy. We outsourced the development of the alpha to China, got that back, tested it with Autism Ontario, Geneva Center for Autism, and my brother, who's the lead product tester. And now we have this application that is being used in 27 countries worldwide.
Wow.
And it all started with my brother. It's absolutely incredible. It's a life skills support tool that helps them to get out there and live their lives in the community.
Because they could have lives.
They should. They could and they should.
Oh my
it's
gosh,
a human
wait,
right.
Nadia, people with autism could have lives? I never knew that.
They could and they want to. I know the word autism comes from the Greek autos, meaning self. But these people, they want to interact with others.
Yeah.
They want friends.
Yes.
And they want...
Just like any other human
Just like
being.
any other. And if you think about it, think about the things that give you satisfaction in life. A lot of it revolves around completing a task.
Shopping and poutine.
Exact. Oh, and poutine, there you go. Poutines are great. I haven't had one of those in a while.
That's my thing. That's my thing.
You just gave me an idea for after the show.
Get on it.
But anyway, even being able to buy a poutine or being able to order a pizza on your own, independence, dignity,
and it's for
freedom.
the simple things too.
Exactly.
You know, like again, you say structure, and one might say, oh, an individual with autism, structure might be the typical things they see in Rain Man. Oh, he wants to play cards. Oh, he wants to do this. No, it could be like, I want to go to the mall. I want to go to a nightclub. I want to do whatever, like any other person would.
I want to go to the men's bathroom on my own. I can't go in there with my brother. And I don't want to go in there with my brother.
Yeah.
And if we're in a place, he has to be able to do these things on his own, because I'm not going to be here forever.
So he brings these cards everywhere he goes.
So these cards are digital. They exist in a mode, an app called Magnus Cards, if I could just show that here. So this character, who was actually designed by my brother and I, guides the user to collect cards within 12 life skills categories. So we got personal care, we got travel, we got safety. Now, in addition to collecting cards, so I'll just kind of show you, if I could do this upside down. I'll show you, let's look at making a cup of tea. So Magnus presents the problem, and then the user scrolls through the card decks to get to the solution. And they act it out in real life, much like a social story. But imagine having a life skills library that you can access 24/7. You got visual, you got text, you got audio, and you can substitute your own pictures.
Do you know what's so funny about this?
What's
I
that?
know neurotypical adults who could actually benefit from this.
Every-
How to boil an egg, how to make craft dinner.
Every single time I present to different groups, I'm getting, oh, well, my mother has dementia and I want her to be able to recognize her family. We can use this. My cousin has Down syndrome. He can use this.
It's not just for autism.
It's applicable across the spectrum. I have a laser focus because I'm on a mission, and I'm on a mission to help people with autism to live their lives with greater independence in the community. So yes, we're open to other people, but you know, all of our messaging is for people with autism and other cognitive special needs. Yeah.
No, and you know what? I respect that, you know, because every cause obviously has what their main person is. And in this case, it was your brother who's not, you know, has cerebral palsy or Down syndrome. He has autism.
Exactly, and
You
we
know?
have users across the spectrum. We have users who are typical, I guess you could say, low functioning, middle functioning, high functioning, across the spectrum. And then users who are high functioning are creating their own cards. So you can take pictures and create your own. We also engage community partners, corporate partners, to develop cards in their areas of expertise. So Starbucks, for example, can create a card deck on how to order coffee at Starbucks, how to work at Starbucks.
I need that.
Exactly.
I need that. How to place an order at Starbucks.
Imagine the opportunity. Imagine the training. You can work at Starbucks. You can take the bus in Toronto, in New York.
Nadia,
it goes on and on. I'm
slow
sorry.
down. Are you saying that individuals with autism could have jobs and live normal functioning lives? Is that what you're saying, Nadia?
I'm saying that it's 2015. I'm saying that this fact has existed from since the beginning of time, but now we're on the cusp of doing something incredibly cool. We are going to change what it means to live with a cognitive special needs, because not only
There's nothing wrong with it.
Not only is it the onus of the family anymore. It's not, I mean, when I was growing up, my mom was like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do when he grows up?
Can I ask you a personal
Everybody
question?
has a role to play.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Of course.
Since you warned me not to. Here's my personal question. Obviously, with different ethnic backgrounds, everyone treats autism differently. Growing up in a black home, how did you find your parents' reaction was to when they found out your brother had autism?
Well, this question has two answers. Number one, autism was not known when Troy was diagnosed. It was not well known. Now today there's Facebook groups, there's Twitter groups, there's places for parents to turn. When Troy was diagnosed, literally autism meant a cacophony of noise coming from our apartment to other people. My parents, my dad's Jamaican, my mom's Guyanese. Even more of a learning curve, right? So they went to Geneva Center for Autism, they went to Autism Ontario, and they got a lot of help from these organizations. No denying that. But at the same time, culturally, it was very hard to accept, especially for my dad's side and for our extended family.
Well, being in Canada, it's one thing, but then you go back home, we already know some of the names they have back home.
Very difficult. There's groups on Facebook who have become some of our biggest supporters, autism in the African American community, because these core family members feel that they can't turn to their external family because they don't understand. They said, okay, well, that kid's just lazy, or he just doesn't want to do it. And so it's just a different culture. There's been a lot of acceptance and growth in our cultures, but I think we have a ways to go. And tools like Magnus Mode, or businesses like Magnus Mode and tools like Magnus Cards can help to break the stigma. I was actually just in Vietnam a couple months ago, and they're going to be adapting this to their culture as well. But that's another culture that faces certain stigmas surrounding autism and special needs. If you look at China as well, it's cultures across the globe, and what we need to do is come together as a community and redefine and spread awareness and teach other people that it's okay. It's just a different way.
And at the same time, we have to come together, but at the same time, respect those cultural attitudes. Unfortunately, they may not be attitudes that we agree with, but that's culturally how it's been for so many years, and in time, we'll get there. I worked with a family who was from China, and they felt that both of the children picked up their autism at school, almost like a cold. That's what they believe. We cannot fix that. Right now, our mission is to work with the children, get them services, get them programs like this that's opening up their lives, you know, for both of them.
Exactly. I agree that we can't necessarily fix that. I do think that we can help people to understand and get a better understanding of their situation and have access to the programs and services that exist to help them. And, you know, like Magnus Cards and like programs at Geneva Center, programs at Autism Ontario. Like there are certain things that families just don't know about, and yet there's an extreme lack across the board for people who are aging up with autism, definitely.
Because they grow up.
They grow up.
And their autism stays with them.
Exactly. And it's not just Troy. It's not just Devin. It's not just Charlie. There's 6.3 million people in North America affected by cognitive special needs. There's 200 million people worldwide, growing at a rate of 17% a year. These people are growing up. The government, the parents, the families, nobody knows what to do. There's an extreme lack of support, and I just got fed up and I said, you know, it's time. It's time for me to do something. This is really the only thing I can think that I want to do in my life is help my brother and build a legacy and a future for him.
You started at the right time, and if you are a parent out there who has a child who happens to have autism and they're nonverbal, and maybe they're just 5 years old, do not take what's happening right now and think that's going to happen for the rest of their lives. There are tools, there are programs, there are services that will help you, help your child communicate. Even if it's 1 or 2 words, it will slowly build. What you just need to do is keep the faith, keep in touch with people like Nadia, and get your resources in check. Another fantastic interview in A Voice for All. Stay tuned after the break and contact Nadia with her information at the bottom of the screen. See you after the commercial break.
Thanks.
And welcome back to A Voice for All. I hope you are enjoying the show so far. If you don't know, this is the last episode of the season. Dear. But we have a familiar face that was on, I think, season 2? Was it?
I think so.
I think it was season 2. If you don't remember Anne, she's probably like the most bubbliest person I have on my show. She just like oozes positivity and happiness. And the last time we had Anne, she had brought her book, We Are More Alike Than We Are Different, and even though the front page is colored, the rest of the book is not colored, which allows children to read the story and to color the pages themselves. And here I am thinking that Anne, she's going to be done with her one book, and lo and behold, Anne has not stopped. Anne, what have you been doing?
Hello. Well, I did my book, and I was supposed to build a wheelchair swing this year, but it got declined because they weren't able to find the proper equipment that I wanted.
Can I give them an evil face? Proceed.
They weren't able to find the proper equipment. So it was just before Christmas, and we were like, okay, let's just think of another plan.
Right.
It took 4 months, and we found a new equipment in February. It is called a Spin Me.
Spin Me.
And it's a round equipment, wheelchair accessible, stroller friendly, and kids can get on it, and then someone from outside just spins it around, and it's at parks. However, they did not accept that until May of this year, so it took a good 3 to 4 months for them to accept it. However, it is now confirmed, and it is coming to Acton, Ontario in end of October at Prospect Park. And the best part is, it is the first one in North America.
Oh, Anne. Let me ask you, you don't have a disability. You're not a parent of a child. Well, technically you are an adopted child in Sri Lanka?
Yes.
How is she doing, by the way?
She's doing wonderful.
Okay, good. What inspired you to want to start all of this?
So when my wheelchair swing got declined, we were all terrified and upset, for sure. Like, we were in tears that we could not do what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I felt like I have so much money from other people around the world who purchased my book, and I just didn't want that money for myself. I had to do it more for the public rather than for a private. And I did research. I did not give up. I had my professor still with me through the end. And it took us a good 3 to 4 months, but we found it. Google is a wonderful resource.
It is. It is.
And we were able to find something that was still wheelchair friendly, accessible, still a proper equipment for a park and recreation center. And it just...
So why a park? Why not resources in a classroom? Why did you choose a piece of equipment?
So I don't mind doing it in a school, in a hospital, anything with children with accessibility, but I want people everywhere to be able to access it and not just in one area in a building. So a park, anyone can go to park. Children in Mississauga, children in Markham, anyone can drive where they are to Acton and be able to use
But
that.
at the same time, there's so many parents who do not know how to encourage their children to socialize with another child with a disability. So if there's a piece of equipment that could kind of bring them together, you know, like that's making a huge difference.
Definitely.
And you orchestrated that. So what has been the response to this movement you've created?
So far, it's been very positive, and we heard from the Recreation and Park Committee in Halton Hills that there is a family in Acton, and their child will be the first one using that equipment because
awesome.
Prospect Park is very old. It hasn't been used for a while. It's still like the old slides and swings, and it's not accessible.
Right.
So now that family is so thrilled, and they cannot wait for their child to use it.
So now that you have this one piece of equipment in Acton, what's the next city that you have your eyes set on to help get accessible?
I haven't thought that far. As you know, I'm getting married.
Yes.
So with that planning going on, we haven't thought what's going to happen with my second book. But after the wedding, I will be doing my second book, and then hoping to do a big gala dinner and raise money for that too. And then hopefully we can do another.
I think I heard you say the Peel region. Did you hear that? I think Annie said that she's going to get the next piece of accessible equipment in the Peel region. Oh, you're far too kind, Annie. You're far too kind. So you said next book. What's this next book going to be about?
So it's a novel that I want to do, and it'll be 5 chapters of true stories from families and friends who have a disability or who have raised children with disability, and what are the struggles they had from the beginning and how they are right now.
So what brought you into the world of disabilities? Because I get asked this question all the time. You're able-bodied, why do you care? So now I'm going to ask you, you're able-bodied, why do you care about disabilities?
I think I mentioned this in my last interview too, but it's all because of that little girl that I adopt in Sri Lanka. If I have not gone to that center, I wouldn't be where I am today.
How old is she now?
She will be 10 this November.
Wow. Now, what has her development been like over the past couple of months?
She now can, even though she is blind, she now knows where everything is.
Okay, good.
She's still scared to go to the bathroom or take pills because her nose is very strong. She can smell things a mile away, but she is doing great. She's physically active. She can run around, play in the park. For some reason, she doesn't like the beach sand, but she loves to play around.
Texture, I would guess. It's not it's grainy. It's not something that's welcomed by anybody, I guess.
Yes.
So you are on to your second book. You've created the Spin Me, this accessible swing. What are you going to do next? Like, you have a wedding coming up. I don't even know how you're doing all this. Then again, I did it myself. Like, we're crazy, apparently. But my real question for you is, for people who are watching who have no understanding about disabilities, what's something that you wish they knew about this world that we work in?
I guess one thing about disability is never take a disability granted, or never take disability as if it is a disability. Try and see what you can do to not think that you have a disability or someone has a disability, but see the positive impacts that they have and try to help them go through that perspective.
So you say positive perspectives. What have you seen yourself?
So as you saw my little girl in Sri Lanka, she's blind, deaf, and can speak. However, if she wasn't blind and if she knew where she was, her gymnastics would be amazing. She can do flips. She can do basically anything with her body.
So you say she's blind, she's deaf, and she can't speak. I've also heard this question before. What is her purpose? If she cannot interpret the world around her, what is the purpose of her being with us?
In my mind, I feel like I know something positive is going to happen in her life. I am not going to give up. I really want to do something for her. And I feel like right now she's 10, she's turning 10, and she is young. But I feel like when she's later on in her years, I think she is going to make a difference.
I think she's already making a difference.
I have a feeling.
She is making a difference because, again, when people ask me what are people's with disabilities, what their purpose is, they have multi-purposes. And I can't say that one has more of a purpose than the other, but her purpose to you was she inspired you, because if you didn't meet her, you wouldn't have had this book, you wouldn't have had this swing. You created this book along with Sherry. Is this book still available for purchase?
Yes, it's still on Amazon, and it's still at my house.
Yeah.
So you can always contact me, or you can get it through Amazon for sure.
And Annie's information is all at the bottom of the screen for you to purchase the book. It's more than a book. It's really, it's an activity for students. It creates conversation, it creates awareness, and it creates like real understanding, you know? And I love how you have diversity in the book, and the kids could color in the pages. Please remind people where the proceeds are going.
Well, we have raised a total of $5,000, and we have given to the Mayor of Halton Hills last Monday on June 22nd. And with that money, that's where the Spin Me is coming along. And if more money comes about after the show, we will still be giving it to the mayor to contribute for the Spin Me
So
equipment.
remind me, the money is not going towards your wedding?
No.
It's not going towards you buying yourself a brand new car?
No.
It's not going towards you buying me a gift?
No.
It's going towards Spin Me, and it's going towards creating inclusion and accessibility within communities.
Yes.
Annie for mayor, folks. Seriously. I met Annie a while back, and she continues to amaze me with what she is doing in the community. She is proud of the work that she's doing. She is passionate about the work she's doing. She almost reminds me of like a junior me, but just way more like passionate. Like I don't even think my passion like could reach her level of passion, but I encourage you to connect with her. Purchase the book if you can, distribute it to your students in your school. Get the book for a relative, because honestly, the proceeds are not going towards Annie, it's not going towards me or the show, it's going towards a cause, and it's going towards communities that absolutely need this, because it's not only benefiting children with disabilities, it's benefiting families who have strollers, families who want to connect with other children in the community. So Annie, continue to do the work that you are doing, continue to be a source of inspiration to other advocates out there, and we will welcome you back anytime on A Voice for All. This is it, folks. This is the end of season 4. I truly hope you enjoyed it. Please stay connected with A Voice for All, be a part of the movement, and I will see you guys season 5. I'm already declaring it. Season 5, I will see you, and Annie will probably be back with us on season 5. That is it. Enjoy the rest of your week, and thank you for being a viewer of A Voice for All.